Hi everyone, another bit of an update here, so here we go. I've decided that I don't really like what I did before on the chassis, so I'll show you what I did and why I don't like it, and I'll tell you a little bit about what I'm going to do to change it, and then I'll record some footage while I'm changing it. So here we go again. my younger self's faux pas versus my current self's meticulous attention to detail. Cross I have to bear, I'm afraid. Oh well, here we go. Here you can see the chassis. It was a nice sunny day, so I took it outside on the drive. After a couple of days of cleaning it up on inside the garage, it was pretty dusty. So had a day or two outside cleaning up, and this is just a bit of a look around the chassis. Feel free to pause it and have a close look at it. There's quite a few things that I will be changing on it, and quite a few things I need to put right. So quite a big task, but one step at a time. So, for those eagle-eyed people, the chassis is on top of the body shell, and yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's not how it's supposed to be, but for now, the trestles are high enough for me to allow it to sit above the body shell, give me a little bit more space to work in. So, let me show you what I don't like. I've pretty much cleaned up most of the chassis. I need to get in and do a bit more detail work before I finish it off. I've got a few welds to tidy up, so a bit of welding to finish off down there, and I might also put some triangular wedges both sides just to give that a little bit more support. It's pretty strong anyway, but belt and braces, me, that's what I want to do. Anyway, let's have a look at this now. My younger self decided that I would create some outriggers, but I kind of don't know why I did it like this, because it's basically an L section of material. It's not a box, it's just an L section. So what I want to do really is to make it into a proper box section. The other thing is that it tapers as well, so it's I think it's wider at the back than it is at the front, but the front section is even more evident, because you see it just sort of tapers down to pretty much nothing at the front. So the other problem is that it is deeper. It's deeper here, top to bottom, than it is back there. So to create a uniform box section is going to be a little bit of a challenge, but basically what I've decided to do, yeah, and it's the same that side. What I've decided to do is to cut it all off and clean it all back, and start again basically. So let's see if I can find, yeah, here we go. If you just look, yeah, that welding is not the best. I think I must have gone berserk with the stick welder when I was younger. Just put plenty on. That was probably my philosophy. You can't quite see it because of the shadow there, but not so bad on that side. But anyway, I basically want to tidy it all up and make some new box section. So I might use slightly thicker gauge than this. Probably, I think that's 1,2. I might go 1.5 mil. I've got some, and it seems a little bit more rigid than that. So probably 60 mil by 60 mil box section, and I'll weld it in front to back between there and there. Also, the other thing is that the height difference here, it's a little bit higher there, not a lot, than it is at the back there. So probably what I might do is create the box section first, make it fit nice, and then and then just sit it on top of this flange here, rather than underneath, and that way I can retain a nice 60mm box section. And then underneath, there we go, this piece here, that's a nice little plate welded over there. So what I'll do is I'll do another plate over this end of there, and I'll set the box section on top. So that will just that'll finish it off nicely. And so I've got some welds to tidy up if I kept this, but it's all bashed and twisted, and I tried to straighten it out, but no, I'm not happy with that. Then you can see how it tapers there. So yeah, I've got that bit to repair, and then I shall be creating a box section, which I think will probably come to about there. So that will be a box section about that wide. So yeah, about there, and come all the way back to there. So that's the plan. So here, yesterday I started cleaning this up in the spirit of cleaning up and retaining what I got, and you can see it started to rust underneath there. So I overlapped it all. I don't like that now, so it'll be butt joints and no overlapping. So that's kind of where I decided to underneath there I exposed that, because that was all double skinned as well. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. I quite like the way that this box section here is it's kind of formed around like that, like a U-channel, and then it's capped off with like a lid and welded along top and bottom. So I might just make my box sections the same way, and it will should look like it's part of the original chassis then, but we'll see. Well, the other thing is, some of this isn't not welded properly. It's like welded in strips, so I'm going to be just finish welding that up as I go around. And also probably a bit over the top, but here as well you can see it's just, I'm just going to tap that together and just put a bead of weld all the way down, just to top and bottom, just to give a bit more strength. So that's it. That side's even worse, look. So a big gap. So yeah, it says a lot for the welding back in the 70s. Here you can see I've peeled back the old repair, and you can see the corrosion underneath, which is why I'm putting it right now. Here you can see the new patch piece is clamped securely to the front outrigger, and I've been cutting through this with my little reciprocating air saw with a metal blade in. You cut it out through both pieces together, you get a really accurate fit for the repair patch. This shows the results of the cutting. I just need to clean up the inside and the edges before I position the new panel in place, the new patch in place. Here's the new repair patch. You can see how well that fits. Very pleased with that. That's just held in place with a couple of magnets, and it's all ready for tacking. It's just a few different views on that patch. Here you can see the chassis on its side. I'm having to rotate the chassis many times during the work that I'm doing, and I'm using the trestles and the block and tackle. So between those two, I'm managing to roll it over to get it into the best position for me to weld. Here you can see the patch that I've replaced. That's all welded up now. Looks a little bit untidy, but I'm just about to tidy that up. Here you can see it's all nicely dressed up now and blended in nicely. Pleased with that. And you can see the line on the left-hand side, because I've left a bit extra just to trim it back once it was all welded into place. Next thing was for me to make the closing panel. Bear in mind this is all on the offside side of the chassis. So here you can see a couple of templates. These are made in cardboard first, and then because they're easy to manipulate, and then you overlay it on the steel and cut the steel out to replicate it. Then you can test fit it into the actual chassis. I did make a little test piece just to check the bends before I committed myself to the actual repair, to the actual closing panel, because I didn't want to get that wrong. So I made my mistakes with a thin strip of metal with the bends on, which I could adjust. And once I'd adjusted it and found the right length between the bends, then I made the the panel in the vise. Then I test fitted it. Here you can see it all clamped up with the welding clamps in place, ready to weld. With the chassis still on its side, I decided that I would start to tackle the other front outrigger. First I wanted to just straighten out the closing panel. You can see here there's a radius next to the captive nut. So I started to cut through this in order to straighten it out so it looked like the same as the other side. I know you won't see it once the box section's on, but I'm a bit anal like that. Anyway, this was before I upended it and had a look inside the box section and had a nasty surprise. And no matter which way you look at it, it wasn't good. Clearly, I didn't expect to find that, but I couldn't ignore it, so I just cracked on and started to cut out the closure panel, which was the same as the one that I just made for the other side. Then I carefully unpicked all of the original spot welds and then used my Dremel with a burr, a metal burr on the end to very gently dress away the remains of the welds to open it all up. Then, when I could see clearly where the rust was, I started to dress away all the corrosion with a metal burr on the Dremel. Took my time and cut it all out to a nice oval sort of patch. Cut it all back to really good solid metal. And then I made a little repair patch that I could butt weld in and held it in position with some magnets and positioned it with a little piece of bent coat hanger wire, a little tip that I'd seen on another YouTube channel. So that worked out really well. Then welded it into place and dressed all the weld up. So it was all nice and flush and looked like it had never been rusty. So this is all inside a box section that you're never going to see. But hey ho, it's the way I like to do things. So back to the closure panels. Fortunately, I didn't weld the one on the other side to start with before I discovered this problem. So I used that as a pattern to make a second one. There we go, just finished welding those little front outrigger closing panels on. It's got to dress the welds back on the other side. Yeah, it's got to weld up that side there next to the chassis. I've got to weld that up when it's on its end. That's the obviously the chassis mounting position that had a reinforcement on top, which I'm going to retain. On the other side was damaged, so I've taken that one off. So I do need to make another one and weld that on. So that's the only ones where the reinforcing will be on top. The other ones will be inside because that's the way it bolts up. And here you can see one of the closure panels all welded up, welds all dressed, and yeah, I'm very pleased with that. I've dressed it flush there, just left a little bit on this side here, just to give me a little bit of something extra when when the box section comes off. So the box section will be coming about there, which will be the next thing that I'm going to be doing, but not just yet, because I've got some tooling to make. The chassis work has taken longer than I thought it would, because I've found more than I thought I would find, and I'm being a bit particular because that's just the way I am. But so what I've decided to do is to break it into 2 videos. So I'm going to end this video here and now and get it uploaded, because it's been a while since I've uploaded a Gentry Build blog. So it's part 1 of the chassis mods. Stay tuned for part 2. If you've stuck with the video this far, then you're obviously interested in the project, which is great. But if you are, then please click the like button, and also please subscribe, because I'm trying to build the channel. I'm up to 55 subscribers now. I'd dearly love to get it to 100. That's my next target. So yeah, if you've enjoyed it, then please subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. So bye for now.